Well, I'd like to call the meeting to order at 6:30. I'd like to welcome everybody to the BZA meeting for April. I'm going to try to actually follow this in order tonight. Let's see, call to order. Let's see, roll call. Can you take us through the roll call, please?
Here.
Here?
Here. Here.
All right. I need a motion to approve the meeting minutes. I'm sorry, the meeting agenda.
We do have one modification to the agenda tonight.
All right.
So item number 5, the 712 West Broadway case, they are seeking another continuance on that as they work through some things on their end.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Adam. All right. With that being said, now can I have somebody to make a motion to approve the meeting agenda?
I'll move to approve tonight's agenda.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Then have the board members been able to have a chance to look over last month's meeting minutes? And do they have any corrections or additions? All right, then I need a motion to approve.
I'll move to approve the March 28, 2024 meeting minutes as presented.
All right, no, I have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. All right, looking at our agenda tonight, I'll skip over the first case. Then that leaves us only one up, and this is variance 04/2024 located at 222 West Broadway Street, and this is regarding a sign variance. So Adam, when you're ready, can you take us through the presentation?
All right, for the record, I'm Adam Zaklikowski, the Planning and Building Director for the town of Fortville. Case before you tonight involves 222 West Broadway Street, and Kevin Crotchfelt is the property owner. The zoning on this property is community commercial, and it's within the Broadway main overlay. And the current use of the property is vacant commercial. So the request before you tonight is that Mr. Crotchfeld intends on leasing his vacant space at 222 West Broadway to a tenant for an ice cream shop. And the RDC approved facade repair funding for some of the remodeling. And the Plan Commission will review the architectural and site plan portion of the remodel at their meeting this coming Tuesday, April 30th. And simply put, before you tonight, the petitioner would like to continue using the non-conforming pole sign that's out there about 20 to 25 feet tall or so. So if we take a look at the project, you can see the building obviously is where the ice cream shop would be located, and the pole sign in question is on the left side of the screen. So we can obviously refer back to this. Now, for some reason, I did not put in the PowerPoint at a skew like this. I don't know. Every once in a while, PowerPoint does that. So luckily, we've got the other photo. So section 4.435D within the Broadway main overlay of the zoning ordinance states the following. Abandoned signs. It says, a sign shall be removed by the owner or lessee of the premises upon which the sign is located within 30 days from the date when the business which it advertises is no longer conducted on the premises. For the purposes of this requirement, the sign shall include all supports, poles, and other structural elements. In no instance shall the removal of only the sign face be considered compliance with this provision. And then it goes on to say that The removal of supports, brick columns, or other materials need not be necessary if the sign is a legal conforming sign meeting the most up-to-date requirements of the ordinance. So that gives you some background on where that clause is coming from. And the current sign requirements for a freestanding sign are as follows. First, freestanding pole signs are prohibited. Secondly, monument-style sign would be required if you're proposing a freestanding sign, and that structure shall be constructed of decorative brick, stone, or other masonry, wood, or metal. Third item would be no freestanding sign may exceed 8 feet in height and 32 square feet in area. Fourth item would be internally lit box signage with full acrylic or polycarbonate faces is prohibited. And then lastly, landscaping is required around the sign. So the sign was not taken down within 30 days as technically required in the Broadway main area of town. Should be noted that Denver's Pizza complied with the ordinance and they did remove their pole sign. However, at 216 West Broadway, that vacant pole sign still remains. In terms of any remonstrance to this variance, all the public hearing notice requirements have been met. That included a sign posting, newspaper publication, mailing, and we're not aware of any remonstrance. So in terms of the decision criteria that you're asked to consider for variances, development standard variances, per the zoning ordinance, it's based on Indiana code. Staff opinion, of course, is in yellow. So the first item is general welfare, that the approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, or general welfare of the community. I'd say probably not, but the sign code in the zoning ordinance was written to enhance aesthetics of the overall community, therefore enhancing general welfare. With the addition of sidewalks in the corridor and a road diet, the corridor is becoming less auto-oriented and more pedestrian-oriented, which was a goal of the town. And the existing sign is obviously more auto-oriented. Second item would be adjacent property, that the use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner. I'd say probably not an issue. A residential neighborhood would not be impacted, although there are some apartments that are behind the building. And then lastly, under practical difficulty, the strict application of the terms of this chapter will result in a practical difficulty in the use of the property. I'd say it's a bit unclear. While it would be cheaper to use the existing sign, a new sign could be constructed to be more pedestrian oriented and meet the code requirements. And the code appears to be very explicit about removal of non-conforming pole signs such as this one. So if it were to come down, now would be the time to do that. So based on that, my professional recommendation, I would be no opinion on this particular matter one way or the other. I'll punt it to the board for you to decide. So if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to address them. The applicant is here as well as the proprietor of the proposed business.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. I will be running the questions and all that, but because this is my project, I will recuse myself from any voting or anything on this. Okay. Well, I mean, it's my project. I'm working with the client on his project. It's not mine personally. Okay. So with that, do any of the board here have any questions to Adam on this? None? Okay. Then the next is the, did I miss something? Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay.
So I noticed that you mentioned Denver's did remove their sign. Was this brought up as a part of that process, or how did that particular situation happen?
Sure, with Denver's, if I recall correctly, it was also an automotive repair business. He had a pole sign out there, and for some reason, we remember that it was in the code that pole signs need to come down. So I think we sent him a letter before he went on with his project saying the code requires that you take this down within 30 days. And I don't think it was done quite that quickly, but from what I remember, he begrudgingly complied and did remove the sign. That's what I remember about the Denver situation.
Okay, anyone else up here? Okay. Time in the agenda for the petitioner to come up and talk. And how, state your name and how you represent the case, please.
Looking to renovate the property, and we looked into it more, the expense kept going up and up. So then I said, why don't we keep it in old gas station, give it the old town feel, and then keep it an original look. I went as far back original as I could, feel that the whole it would be a really good addition to the look at the whole filling station. It could be any type of restaurant business, obviously it's gonna be nice for your shop. So that was the idea behind it. And the reason they did say something to me within 30 days about the full time, and I was supposed to get paperwork done. Work and then paperwork in. Yeah. So I was keep the full time and keep the whole look of the old filling station if we could, give that old timey feel.
Right, I'm gonna have you have a seat. We'll probably circle back around to you if we have any questions.
Quick question.
Oh, go ahead.
So the way it's, it said it's on there right now, what will it look like different from where it's at right now?
It would stay where it's at,
Mhm.
but the only thing that we would change the whole upper half would be. Because as of right now, I don't think it's in great condition.
Okay.
So this whole upper half
Okay,
would be rebuilt.
okay. So you're just talking the pole is you're proposing the pole would remain and the upper half would have a sign that would be reflective of the business
Of the
that's
new
there.
business.
Yeah, okay.
How is the integrity of the pole? Okay,
And it used to be a rotating pole. Pole itself.
okay. You wouldn't see any safety concerns at all? Okay.
No, and I think. That would put some. That's the owner. It's
Oh.
gonna be in front of it.
All right. Dan, do you have any questions? Okay. All right. All right, we may call you back up. All right, we have a very small crowd tonight, so it's time for public response, and this would be for or against this project. Okay, this is our government official portion as well, so come on up.
This did used to spin. I would love to see it spin again with a golden ice cream going on. You know? I mean, that was just really cool. And the sign what it is right now, it's really neat shape. I'm sure that they'll find something. It'll be like just typical pan things probably with backlit. Should be real colorful and very nice, but I wouldn't take it down for sure because it's part of the property, really. And I like the higher signs because people are not obstructing the view to get out on the road. So I think this is the case we probably better do, in my opinion.
Okay, all right, well, thank you. All right. Anyone else, either from the public or from public officials? Okay. Is there anyone on Zoom that has a comment or question? Thing up there that says talking.
Oh, that's us.
Oh, that's us. Okay. I don't know how to read those. Okay. Well, then does the board have, before they make a decision, do you have any other questions to bring to bring the petitioner back up or to ask Adam?
Just to make sure, Denver's did not come before this board, right? This was just a letter sent by the town?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah, I think I'd say really the only difference is, as part of the plan review for the remodel, we said, hey, technically the code requires that you take this sign down, do a little monument sign. And, Ms. Crotchfelt said, well, I kind of want to keep it. And we said, okay, you might be able to, but you got to go to the BZA and let
Okay.
them decide. So, with Denver's, we never got to that point.
Okay.
Can I ask a question? I know and maybe in general, if it should move forward and they do change out the top part of it, will that come back to BZA or come back to Plan Commission, or is that goes to your office?
No, that just come to
Okay.
come to our office. In fact, I mean, to be clear, if you were to approve it and you're okay with the, an acrylic type sign on it, then he could just put it up. There's not even a permit that would be needed for that because he's not building anything. It's just changing the face out. So.
Okay. All right. Any other questions before we consider a vote? Sure, come back on up to the mic. Everything's recorded, so we got to get it on record.
Just to confirm, we saw in the ordinance that talks about it not being a bid, we want to make sure it can still be lit. Kind of the whole point.
Okay, thank you for that clarification.
Do you know if it says anything about moving?
Excuse me?
Does it, in the new code, does it say anything about moving?
Yeah, Adam, do we know
Yeah,
that?
that's prohibited as well.
Movement is prohibitive? Okay,
That's prohibited in the signed portion of the whole ordinance. So when it comes to signage, as much as the case with a lot of different development topics, there are provisions that apply townwide. And then there are certain provisions that only apply to, say, the Broadway main area. And so the spinning is prohibited townwide.
okay.
I don't know if we were looking to go that far, because at some point it is gonna become cost prohibitive to anybody to do it, so. And then it's been very hard to get any sign company even to show up, since I'm the owner of the building, not the one that's gonna pay for the whole thing. It's very difficult for anybody to show up, call it selling. So I'm waiting, to get approval before we actually say, all right, we've got a company. What are all the costs associated?
So you're not asking for movement?
I'm not asking.
Okay.
Back of it.
Any other questions? I don't want to cut anybody short here.
The only question I have is reminds me, it makes me think back to the sign that was flashing that we had in front of the board probably a year ago. Huh?
No,
Not
no,
Hux, it was actually
the
longer.
VFW.
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah.
VFW, and it was flashing bright at night, and the neighbors had requested that it only go to a certain point in time. This is not gonna be flashing bright and that sort of thing. Okay, Okay.
I know everybody's just still thinking I can. Okay. All right. Well, if we have no other questions for Adam or for the petitioner, I need to have a motion to either approve, deny, or approve with, if there's any conditions.
I'll move to approve case number variance 04-2024 at 222 West Broadway Street. Sign variance, motion to approve.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And one abstain? All right. Motion carries. Thank you so much. All right, with that, that's our one and only case tonight. I will apologize. Apparently I skipped the pledge. I love my country and I love the flag. Please don't misread anything into that. At this point, we don't forget, board members, we have our paperwork to fill out. And after that, I'm just looking for a motion to adjourn.
I'll move to adjourn.
All right. All right. All in favor? Aye. All right. Thank you all for coming and attending our Board of Zoning meeting.
Thanks, Tyler.
Thank you. Dan, take care of yourself.